God, I love this movie. It had such a great atmosphere. It had such a great build-up. The adventure was overall amazing. There were a lot of twists and turns along the road, and there were such crazy ideas that were being built up to this movie, all the way towards the end with such a satisfying conclusion, and hopefully to build up for another sequel down the road. It's just overall perfect. And that is why I love National Treasure. Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to another episode of TSF Reviews. Now, I'm just being told by Omer in the background that I was supposed to be reviewing Uncharted. Well then, okay then. So we're going to be talking about Uncharted. This came out a while ago, and I saw it a while ago as well, but I just want to give my very thoughts on what the movie is about. It's as a video game movie, you're getting what you're expecting. It's Nathan Drake going through an adventure to find treasure, and things happen along the way. Puzzles are getting solved, and you eventually reach the goal that you are planning to attend. So, yeah, essentially, this is a proper movie in terms of gathering what the Uncharted series is about, and considering from the point of view of those who have played the Uncharted games, because personally I have not played the Uncharted games, but I have been told that this is more or less exactly what the Uncharted games are like. So, as a video game adaptation, it did a bang up job. It's an absolute good job in terms of the adaptation. But as a movie, there's nothing new. I mean, yeah, some of the scenes are amazing. Some of the particular one, like the one in the poster right here, this particular scene in the movie was actually fantastic. It was shot very well, and it kept us on your toes the entire time, which was pretty good. It had a very nice build up. Some of the cinematography was fantastic for this movie, but in terms of the overall direction of the movie, not direction, the direction was fine actually. The story, the story overall, I mean, it's I understand they're adapting a video game that is similar. It's a treasure hunt video game, more or less solving puzzles to get to the main goal. That is fine. But as a movie, there's nothing new. I mean, we've seen a lot of these done before, and in this movie, you kind of expect them. You kind of know they're going to happen. Be it if you're a fan of the video games and you know this is going to happen anyway, that's fine, and that's you. You can enjoy it either way. But if you're like me, who went in blind, not knowing about the video games and just seeing it as a proper movie with the main plot being similar to other plot movies, there is nothing fantastic outside the box in terms of the story. Oh, there's a treasure. Okay, fine. We're gonna go solve the puzzles and get the things we need to get to the treasure. Okay, fine. We've done that. Oh no, the person's betraying us. Okay, fine. Turns out they're not betraying us. Okay, fine. Oh, they're betraying us again. Things like this. I mean, it's done constantly on these treasure hunt heist kind of movies, and it doesn't add anything fantastic to it apart from the fact that yes, it is being a movie about treasure hunts or heists, and but it has a familiar franchise name attached to it, in this case Uncharted. So it is still a good movie. I'm not saying it's terrible in any way, but it's just a little straightforward, in my opinion. It's like some of the things are building up in the movie, and it's doing it pretty well. I did like the villain at the beginning, when they were setting him up to be the main guy. I'm unfortunately don't remember the names that well right now. But yeah, when they were building up the villain, he was doing a very good job. But surprise, he's not the villain. The henchwoman is. So yeah, that just ended up being expected. You saw her in action a while ago, so you knew she was capable of doing it. But it just again, it just ruins that whole surprise. It's not like, okay, this is a completely unrelated example, but if you see a movie like Now You See Me, it had this way of building it up where, okay, you can expect it, but at the same time you don't see it happening. In a lot of cases you see some things happening, but not, at the same time some things throw you off. So that there's not that type of element is not in this movie. Is like it's very generic. But overall, as a video game adaptation movie, it's doing a bang up job. It did a pretty decent job, and Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Initially, I thought, okay, that's a terrible casting. I think what's the guy's name? I think yeah, Mark Wahlberg was also in this movie, and I initially thought Mark Wahlberg would be a much better Nathan Drake in this movie, but they proved me wrong. As in, like, okay, yeah, I'll admit Tom Holland seems a little young for the role, and he looks young. I don't mean he is young; he looks young for the role for Nathan Drake. But the way he handled it, the way he pulled it off, it's absolutely great. His acting was phenomenal. Mark Wahlberg also did a bang up job in this movie, and overall the acting was also pretty good. My only gripe, as I mentioned earlier, is that there are a lot of heists and treasure hunt cliches that were used a lot. I was like, they did not spare any cliche, any and all cliches that you can think about that would happen in a heist treasure hunt kind of movie. They were all used here, and we have seen them so much in previous movies, especially in National Treasure, like I mentioned earlier, where although it wasn't the only movie, there was a bunch of movies prior to that that you just expect them now. If you once you know that it's a treasure hunt movie, you know, okay, great, this is what we're gonna get, and this might happen with this character. So at least in my mind, this is what's happening. But overall, movie was great. It's still a great watch. I would give it a 7 out of 10. I can narrow it up to 7.5. It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. Although I'm going to look past the cliches, it's still a great job for a movie. The acting was great. The scenes were great. Overall, the story, again, generic, but the way they handled it a lot, especially with a lot of the effects and a lot of the action scenes that are in. I'm not going to spoil the main action scene over here. But yeah, though that particular scene was a lot of fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot of fun. But overall, yeah, I would highly recommend the movie. Although if you are like me and notice a lot of cliches right away, I would probably steer away with it to stay away from this movie. But if you are, like you just want to watch it for a good fun, go for it. But overall, yes, for video game fans, especially with the Uncharted series, go ahead, definitely watch it. This has been Amar from the Sabeen Foundation, and I'll see you guys next time.